Alright, so we now ukopiem information superhighway ni so what I say abel for tentem fidie ni so ayehye ni nyina ne say miracles Aboagye from Baumia camp and afi nso no Kwasi Kwatin no nso Canada Japan spokesperson abuzinezi no omu dware o gatem internet ne so atemdidie ene attacks pa easy yes nipa we mi no begidi say so omu hye ho face to face ebi a say omu gloves now ni nyina Facebook post bi Kwasi Kwatin no kasama Canada Japan etimi kwotwere abusunya eno na che say miracles Aboagye ono nso anhye no ho so ebi ase che say where's they describe Canada Japan no mbroni beka say unpalatable enye words pa and ama Canada Japan camp no say ebufu abapa so ni nyina asase efiri Kwasi Kwatin post bi eno ada wokotwere ya na che say otimi make a case as to why Baumia doesn't deserve a second chance. Now, a no reply Miracles Aboagye de buy no. A whole baby in this reply, Miracles me describe Canada Japan in certain ways at a point. Miracles Aboagye ma Canada Japan krano or friend say we lose Canon we liability and very reckless to NPP. Just say we zero policy debt. Just say and some can say on ebusia Miracles Aboagye now ye beba Miracles there no but me shall say Kwasi Kwatin post no ma mema a brief summary because ten. But the key points Kwasi Kwatin post trigger Miracles Aboagye match say wotimi benka say almost wodi Canada Japan atema enie. Kwasi Kwatin was reacting to an incident na cause one when Dr. Baumia visited President Mahama said oneno ekusunwa boom. But then the same Baumia Akuffo because over the weekend we heard and we saw Chairman Sambunsi no honorable and afis no chairman wuntumi no MPP akasefo bi omkopi mu ewo agona ho ba bi search areas mu na omoye campaign vigorously for Baumia. And so Kwasi Kwatin was trying to make a point say adentina the whole country is mourning. Omani nyina esu etwa adwajo na say Baumia no etimi akọ any President Mahama subum but behind the scenes no ono ankasa no nkofo nso namase campaign which was also a direct violation of MPP for omo emra omo de egu akwan ma omo chem say until say yebewie akwatia by election no presidential candidate and I say ubi biara entimi nkonkoye campaign favor ono ne presidential candidate and I say ne flag bearer candidate and so there say video na e course so me ade Kwasi Kwatin hu ni say one morally Baumia camp no omanfa buo ama enipa every more Ghana na say ye morning no because I say omo put you omo flag bearer no the interest any ne flag bearer career no over the emotions are cause we need su amanfo esu eni bu ese de mo omo konya accident and aside that ochema per omo behavior no omo ye na say MPP party no it's more like animals kingdom bi emrani bi chibi and mostly Baumia side because how come say party in penny for Eddie and Yama Bigu Aquim se movie and your campaign until Akwatia by election? Now still almost 8 campaign. Aside that, Kwasi Kwatin 8 also Emma historical figures via ultimately prove the reason why Baumia of all the NPP flag bearers are almost 8 and Baumia and the West. Now Kwasi Kwatin started every 1992 under Professor Edubwahin. Yeah, which him say under in 1992, no Professor Dubois me Emma NPP. The first term, first term, with me my NPP for a total vote of 30.29%. Despite said the entire difficult conditions, he said JJ Rawlings Afia or transition or minor Ediaco democracy near there. Then still, Dubois was able to pull 30.29%. Aside that, in 96, for first time, with me increasing from Dubois in 30.29. Etimi Emma 39.67%, which means Kofi etimi Emma NPP for plus 9.38%. Etimi Edeke Dubois which is an improvement on Professor Dubois with me. That is almost first time 170 and then with me PMU Akuffo which him say Akuffo time. Akuffo also a first timer ever with me standing as a presidential candidate for MPP no. With me, Emma party no 49.13%, which is also about 9.46% increase from Kofi Edie. So Professor Dubois 30 no, Kofi betimi ediko 39, then Akuffo etimi ediko 49, and these are almost first terms asem. Eho ena Kwasi Kwatin ba be make point say in 2024. Shockingly, Baumia ebeje ya no mo expect say enko nso betimi make improvement and asen ka list on maintain 49 na Akuffo do first time with beje no Baumia etimi decline ye from 49 na Akuffo first time woje ye no Bawumia etimi at about 41%, which means that Bawumia so far in about 32 years in NPP democratic history, Bawumia was the first person or yet the worst performing flag bearer NPP for Enya, and that is the only point I will make to prove the reason why Bawumia ain't deserve a second chance, because wetimi at the party so upon all the candidates on Babaje party it make you more progress and kakra in their first time, even if it's a first time you could see that there was an appreciation in vote. But Bawumia etime so, and these were the reasons why Kwesi Kwati make a point and we change the reason why Bawumia ain't deserve a second chance. This was a brief and some technically there your friends Kwesi Kwati etwe you. Na ena miracles Aboagye nso free here abusua was say the Kwesi Kwati aka concerning the reason why say ye ma Bawumia second chance no. Eye na bufu. Enso wanka bia na chese anyi. Enu nti miracles Aboagye nso timi ko Facebook na ne said the Kwesi Kwati statement 10 no. Miracles into etimi match no equally. Ya abusua ensem at a point na miracles Aboagye etimi ekenka no targeting Canada Japan na say enya akono. Na mamemfa miracle statement no emaw. Edoson but betimi try say ye betimi amwate ase in brief. Na miracles etimi start so say second chances are reward for winnable candidates. The desperate attempt by the writer to rewrite history and diminish Bawumia. Now for context, writer now who stating no Kwesi Kwati because that was Kwesi Kwati the statement and answer the heading or the man or no ne points na yetimi ediamon. Miracles essay. The desperate attempt by the writer to rewrite history and diminish Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia's exceptional leadership qualities is not just laughable, it is intellectually dishonest. The so-called analysis presented is a cherry-picked, context-free distortion of facts designed to mislead rather than enlighten. Let's set the record straight with logic, facts, and a touch of reality. Something clearly missing in their poorly constructed argument. And these are personal punches miracles ebeshase impukra no wetimi edema Kwesi Kwati no kwatre statement no. Now or start say number 1 selective amnesia and the art of misleading comparisons. Ochema, the writer in his haste to attack Bawumia conveniently forgets that political contests are not won in a vacuum. Comparing 1992, 96, and 2008 to 2024 is like comparing oranges to rotten apples. We miracles account as a all fire. Now, a home picky points and was in 92. Abuagye contested against Rawlings, a military-turned civilian leader with an incumbency advantage in a freshly transitioning democracy. The playing field was anything but fair. In 2008, Akuffo contested against an NDC still recovering from years in opposition with Mills as a candidate who had already lost twice before. In 2024, Bawumia faced an unprecedented economic crisis inherited from a global pandemic, Russia-Ukraine war disruptions, and an opposition that shamelessly weaponized hardship while offering no solutions. We miracles Aboagye ultimately the reason why we feel say Bawumia failure in 2024. And to counter the argument Kwesi Kwati making a which say so compare Akuffo Edubuahin and Kofi almost time now say the playing field no or describing no as fair, but under Bawumia time no when you that fair playing field because at only time no now there was Russia-Ukraine war, the NDC was trying to weaponize economic hardships against Bawumia ni nyina no against Bawumia say entimi ambwa. Miracles Aboagye koso so counter all the points I would Kwesi Kwati etimi make na and the reason why the Canada Japan camp said the argument o make against Bawumia bia no flawed. Now na asem no Miracles Aboagye then came to make comparisons between Canada Japan and Bawumia where we believe say ena attacks no any personal insult no come Canada Japan. Now Miracles STT so say Dr. Bawumia is the most prepared, formidable, winnable candidate, intelligent, assertive, with high emotional intelligence. 2 or describing as a unifier with respect for all, incorruptible with high integrity. Ena obe describe it Ken say your candidate is a loose cannon whose only strategy is insult and threat, a liability whose reckless comments scare investors and moderate voters. 3, a man with zero policy depth, banking on populism over substance. So you see, my friend, it's not just about first, second, or third chances. It's about what would work for our dear party, and clearly, Your candidate doesn't make the cut, and attacking Bawumia every day would not change who he is. Let him be. In another paragraph, Miracles 8 Mitchell say, your candidate's reckless temperament, divisive rhetorics, and history of inciting violence makes him utterly unfit for the presidency. Whether on the first chance, second chance, or third chance, he just will not cut it for our dear party and country. His inflammatory comments have fueled ethnic tensions and even led to physical attacks on journalists and political opponents. Oh, and to think that your candidate can call the entire NPP membership foolish and stupid people and still seek to lead us tells you how unprincipled he can be. Such leadership traits do not make the cut for NPP leadership, not on first, second, and or even third or 10th chances. A leader should unite, not divide. Yet yours thrives on chaos and confrontation. His lack of self-control is alarming. From threatening journalists on live TV to promoting lawlessness, he consistently prioritizes aggression over diplomacy. Can the NPP and Ghana trust a man who rules by intimidation rather than integrity? Beyond his toxic persona, your candidate's political track record is shallow, more noise than substance. Ghana deserves a leader with vision, not vendettas. A president must inspire respect, not fear. Your candidate fails on every count. Conclusion: hot-headed, divisive, and unfit. Your candidate is a risk Ghana cannot afford. Your candidate is a political suicide in waiting, and that's a cost our dear party and country cannot afford. The path to 2028, forward with Bawumia, backward with your candidate. The NPP doesn't need a loud loser. We need a quiet winner. Bawumia has the intellect, temperament, and track record to lead the party to victory in 2028. Your candidate, he'd be a gift to the NDC, a guaranteed loss waiting to happen. So to the writer of this poorly researched hate piece, next time, check the facts before going to town. We hard punches. Yeah, just say miracles Aboagye. Ultimate edema kwesi kwatin of Canada Japan campaign just we know. I say Sarkodie ni yapunu beef na say baako punch hard. Baako nso ede ne nam ntenten no ho. So abusia kwesi kwatin entokwa okoko kan ye. Say opeso prove the reason why Bawumia in deserve second chance no. Abusia baby ababe wi Canada Japan die. With miracles Aboagye describing Canada Japan as a loose cannon. A political suicide, a reckless sebi, a persona bia undeserved say ulidi a party like NPP, where a threat to journalists, a threat to free speech. In fact, a whole lot of descriptions. And miracles Aboagye 80 ede koma Canada Japan, and that is because Canada Japan enipa offense kwesi kwatin 80 ekwotre ni reasons are we feel say Bawumia undeserved second chance. Abusia we any in some miracles, 80 me quarter abusin say ni de ukopie mu ewo Canada Japan campaign ye ejano said omo so toba miracles we ni ya ni ibinum kran so astarte ka Ghana for why miracles sebi omo chemi say ukubia campaign sika in 2024 Bawumia campaign of MPP communications campaign sika we ni ade ni omo so astarte miracles ewo abo so abusia. This is where we are with Ken Bawumia beef. And they are not fighting. Canada Japan as it stands now, any day attitude in Ghana. But the spokesperson Kwesi Kwatin and I feel so miracles Aboagye and Ebusia and Omonso 80 Mufi Ewo and Tinten so I 80 the Honsem Emano. Now there are more coming, but you can't channel we because so Eddie in Samunechi. So Menka also be subscribing, not just say and first time. The comment section is also open. We me actual comments. Now, you because we as and when you be update every this particular beef from Abusia, you me actual updates. You know, at the amount announced who baby at any echo. So, was a year morning the loss of 8 helicopter year morning the loss of 16 and Krebi Ubugu in an accident. You know, the Bawumia so ne Canada Japan almost spokesperson me do almost so church want interference in Abusia. The politics no no. So, men phone see na men na was say unya bre e de ma me e wo channel so me di ni see here Phoenix Media.